has come. The time has come, friends, for the worst books of 2020. I went through my Goodreads list to see all the 1 stars that I have. I only had 7, and I feel that's a good list, okay? The rest of the books that I didn't like, 2 stars, I had a bunch of those. But there were only 7 books that had the coveted 1 star. Okay, maybe it's not so coveted, but I mean, that is a reward in itself. That I hated you so much, you got 1 star. You were 7 books out of, I think, 146. I mean, way to go. All right, I'm gonna start from the beginning of the year. I'm gonna go to what I read to the end of the year, and then we are going to see who has won the prize. The prize for what the fuck was that? Okay, there's going to be 1 winner of these 7 books that gets the What the Fuck Was That award. All right, let's see who it is. My first 1-star read of 2020 was Truly, Madly, Royally by Debbie Regaud. Man, this was a book club pick. Like, what is our problem that we pick terrible books? Like, okay, most of the books that we picked in 2020, I think I actually ended up liking, but like usually some of the books that I absolutely hate come right from book club. Like, what is that? I mean, we should get an award for that alone. But anyway, Truly, Madly, Royally. The reason that I hated it so much is that it was boring, it was cliche, it was trying to be a Hallmark movie in a book, but it wasn't. It missed the mark because it was just so over the top cheesy, okay? Like, this girl can do no wrong. The main character of the story, she does everything right. She's like a freaking Mother Teresa. Of course, she starts dating a prince who's gonna make her a princess, and everyone thinks it's a huge deal because this girl is black. All right, can we feel some Meghan Markle up in here? Now, I don't care about the race stuff. Like, great. I think it's great that you included some black characters in your book. Yay, diversity. I just hated the book itself. It was so poorly written. It's classified as YA, and I felt like it wasn't even middle grade. Like, the writing was really bad. The writing itself, the story itself, the blech of the entire book, 1 star. Next 1-star read on my list was several months after that last one, all right? The next 1 star goes to Blue Ticket by Sophie McIntosh. This story was like pitched as a dystopia, and it sounded really cool. These girls line up, they get a blue ticket or they get a white ticket. All right, I think the blue meant that you were destined for a professional life, and a white ticket meant that you had to become a mother and become a wife. And that was just your lot in life. I could have them switched. I don't remember exactly. So I was like, okay, you know, like, I'm into this dystopia world. Sounds a little bit Handmaid's Tale-ish. Let's see what happens. All right, let me tell you what happens. Okay, this is all that happens. The girl who's destined for a professional life decides that that's not what she wants. She gets knocked up by somebody, and the entire book is her thoughts about becoming a mother. Oh my God, it was so freaking boring. I tried, man. Like, I tried to wait for it to get better. I mean, I listened to the entire audiobook. It did not get better. That is not what I signed on for. I wanted a dystopian world where things are not as they seem, and, you know, feminism and roar, and this was not that. The next 1-star read goes to Frozen Beauty by Lexa Hillier. Now, in full disclosure, at any other time, this might have been a 2-star read because it wasn't awful. However, I was just so duped by the cover because I find that it's so beautiful. I love the cover, and I could not stand the story, and I was just so mad that the cover sold me on a crap story that I gave it 1 star for spite. I completely admit that. It's probably more of a 2-star read. However, it got 1 star because I felt duped, and I'm sticking with that. My next 1-star read was another book club pick. There's Someone Inside Your House by Stephanie Perkins. Oh God, this story was utter trash. I feel like it kept going for shock value, that I wasn't shocked by anything. I thought the characters were lame. You find out who the killer is halfway through the book, maybe even less than halfway through the book. And so for the rest of the book, you're like, okay, like, there's no mystery to solve. Just, you know, stay away from that person over there. It's like, ugh, It was so bad. It was so bad. People in my book club thought that it was at least written well so that they could get through it very quickly. And I mean, I guess that it was easy to read. However, to me, easy to read does not translate to good book. I still really didn't like this book, and I still really thought it deserved 1 star. Next 1 star on my list was an e-arc that I got from NetGalley. This was Queens, Kings, and Monsters by Teddy Bear. I hear it. I hear Teddy Bear. I hear it now, Erica, if you're watching this. Okay, so I will say that when this story started, I was at least interested. You know, I thought that it was starting to set up possibly an interesting world, but it fell off kilter, man. Like, I felt like it plummeted so far down because I just thought that it had some rapey type jokes that I'm just not into. I'm not into that humor. I don't find it funny. I don't think rape is funny. Go figure. And also the protagonist of this story was a young girl, and I felt like the jokes that were directed at her were disgusting, and I didn't like to read it on the page. I'm sure that was the point, that we're supposed to think these men are gross, but I don't think that it enriches your story at all to have these older men joking about breaking this 13-year-old girl in. I think that's disgusting. And I felt like it was trying to be kind of Games of Thrones-ish, and it was missing the mark. Like, you're trying to be as raunchy as that series is, but you don't have a story. You just have the raunch. Like, it was not good. 1 star. Ugh. Next 1 star read is another NetGalley e-arc. This one goes to The Twins by J.S. Lark. I still don't have a clue, like, what really happened in that story. It was so confusing. Like, I expected a psychological thriller about twins, maybe one taking the other one's spot, or one wanting what the other one has and trying to push her out of the way or something. I don't know. Whatever I expected, that was not it, and it was trash. And I had said this in my original review, and my mind still sticks on it. Like, sometimes the wrong name was used. I think the sisters' names were like Susan and Sarah. I think if it wasn't those names, it was something super close to that. But sometimes they put the wrong name in, like, you know, they said Sarah when it should have been Susan, depending on who you're talking about. And when I got to the end of the book, I was like, you know, was that the point? Like, were they trying to trip me up intentionally? Like, I don't know. I just think that's a stupid way of doing things. Like, I could write, the dog went to the store, and then be like, haha, it was the cat. The cat went to the store. Like, that's what I felt like when I got to the end of the book. I thought it was utter trash. Oh God, I do not recommend. 1 star. And the last 1 star book on my list is yet another e-arc from NetGalley. Man, I guess I didn't do so well with some of the e-arcs that I got this year. Oh well, whatever. But anyway, the last one is The Beast of Bellevue by Grace Chen. I recently talked about this one because I read it for December. It came out in December, and it was supposed to be like a switched retelling of Beauty and the Beast. So like, Belle really has the Beast's part, Beast really has Belle's part, and Belle is this patient at Bellevue Insane Asylum, which I thought was like a really interesting premise, to take Belle and put her in Bellevue. I thought that was so creative, but the story itself was not good. She somehow has internet access and is talking to guys in a different town and somehow goes to meet them. Like, how did you get out of the insane asylum? How did you get internet access? How are you chatting with other people and people aren't watching what you're doing? Like, I don't know, it just made no sense to me, which is why I got 1 star. All right, so those are the 7 books that got 1 star in 2020. I have thought long and hard about this, about which one is going to get the What the Fuck Was That award. And I have decided, drumroll please, The Twins by J.S. Lark. Oh God, it was just so confusing. I hated it, like literally hated it from start to finish. I mean, there was not a page that I was reading that I somewhat liked. I at least felt like some of these other 1 stars, I was curious in the beginning, like, oh, where is this going? This might be interesting. And they ended up as a 1 star. But this one I like hated from start to finish. And I know that you're probably thinking, Elise, why do you read a book? But you know what? When I have a physical book in my hand and I have said that I'm going to review something, I really want to read it from start to finish. I think that I owe the author that. I owe the publisher that. They probably didn't like that they got 1 star. I understand. But you know what? It is my personal review. If I hate your book, that doesn't mean that other people are going to hate it. You know, we all have different tastes. Okay, that's all that I've got for you today. Thank you for tuning in to Elise Reads and Speaks. I will catch you next time, guys. Bye!